Okay, welcome to the video. SIG Guy here. In this video, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to install your recoil springs on your 3.1 inch guide rod for your regular P365s using this tool right here. Let's get started. So if you have one of the recoil spring tuning kits for your 3.1 inch barrel, the shorter standard size 365, you know it is pretty difficult to get this collapsed. And this is the captive design. So you got to thread that bolt and washer into the end of that guide rod. Here's our bolt and here's our washer. It's usually a two-person job. You got to collapse this and have somebody put that bolt and washer in there for you. Or what I've done in the past is collapse this, grab onto it with my needle nose, squeeze the ever-living you-know-what out of it while I put the bolt and washer in there. And even then it's kind of tricky because these slip and the guide rod goes flying one way and the bolt and washer go flying another way. So you got to be pretty careful with this stuff too because it could get you in the eye. So obviously you want to use eye protection. These flat wire springs are pretty sharp, so it does hurt your hands as you're compressing them. So I can see where people might have a difficult time putting together this kit, especially the longer spring. That was the lighter, shorter spring. This is the heavier, longer spring. And as you can see, it takes even more to get that compressed, to get that in there. So there is an alternative, an easy way to do that, and that is using this tool right here. This is another tool that I came up with. The previous one was for the XL captive design. This one's made specifically for the 3.1 inch. It does require a different tool, so I'm going to show you how to use this right now. You're going to be amazed about how simple this is. All right, so just let me show you the bottom part here of the tool. It's got a little pocket in there. Okay, it's the same diameter as the guide rod, the end here, so it centers itself down inside the hole. So we're going to take our spring, we're going to install it in the upper portion just like that. We're going to take our guide rod, put it in just like that, and then we're going to insert this whole thing into the bottom part. We're going to kind of move it around so we can see our guide rod is completely centered there. And we're just going to collapse this, rotate it, let it go. Okay, once you got that, we're going to remove our top. And there's our guide rod with our threaded hole. So we'll take our washer, we'll put it over that just like that. We'll take some blue 242 Loctite, put some on our threads here, thread that into the hole. And I want to mention also, we always point this away from us. Always treat this like a loaded gun because you never know. I mean, something could fail here. We don't know. And it's under spring tension, so we don't want to get hurt or put out an eye. So we're going to always point that away from us, okay, until we get our captive bolt and washer in there. So that's just the guide rod and spring turning around in the inside. All we're going to do is just snug this up, okay? We don't need to crank it in there. The blue 242, once it sets up, it'll hold that in there just fine. So we're going to install our top just like that. Go like that, unlock it, pull it out, take our top off, and we're going to separate our two pieces. And you can see our spring has still got a little bit of spring tension there, okay? So don't get your finger up in there. Take this other end here, just pull it right off. And to remove it, there's two ways you can do this. Basically, on both ways, you're going to make sure your bolt is free if you got Loctite in there. We're going to want to back that out a couple turns, okay? Kind of hold the guide rod, back that out. We can basically collapse our spring a little bit, take our bolt out, take our washer off, and then release the tension and let the spring come off the guide rod. Or we can use the tool here, okay? So on the tool here, it's got these grooves in it that look like your springs. And it's a lot easier if we put this kind of in the middle of the spring, because the springs get distorted at the top and the bottom. They're kind of consistent in the middle, like the grooves. So basically kind of put it in there just like that. We'll match up the other side, and I'm basically going to thread this in. Okay, just like that. I'm going to put my top on, just like that. I'll put it in the bottom, lock it in, take our top off. Oops, take our bolt and washer off. Put our top back on, release it. Just like that. And there you have it. It is that easy to install your spring on this guide rod. Doing this a couple times, especially if you're out at the range and then you're switching between the two to find out which one works best for you. Definitely your hands start to feel it after a while. So we sell these kits on sigguy.com, and every one of these kits comes with the spring pre-installed. So we'll do 50 or 100 of these in a batch, and your hands are really feeling it, probably 20 into it. So basically came up with this tool. Started with the XLs, but this one is even more difficult than the XLs. So basically came up with a tool to help that process be easier here. And then obviously everybody out there would want the same type of tool to make it easier for them. So we do sell these on sigguy.com with the tool. We do have it for the XLs with the captured design. And we also have the non-captured XL design guide rod tuning kits now, like the Fuse with just that bushing and the rod. No bolt, no washer. And we're moving towards that direction to where all the kits will be that type of style, and they'll be available in stainless steel or black. I like giving people the option to have both options. So if it's not on the website yet, it will shortly be on there. So just give it some time. Anyway, tons of tuning kits and all kinds of performance parts on the website, sigguy.com. We've invested a lot of time and effort and energy and money and all that stuff into getting our own product line out there, and it seems to be a fan favorite. So we do appreciate all the support and the continued support, especially with the new website being changed over and all the problems that were associated with that. Thank you for your patience and seeing us through that whole process there. If you like this type of content and you find these types of tools helpful and these types of products, there'd be a subscribe button right down here in the corner. If you could subscribe to the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.